What if the path to more powerful, more reliable orgasms wasn't a mystery, but a science? For decades, conversations around sexual pleasure have often left many feeling like they were missing a piece of the puzzle. There's a well-documented phenomenon known as the orgasm gap, where women report experiencing orgasms far less frequently than their partners during partnered sex. This can lead to frustration, self-doubt, and a feeling that true, mind-blowing pleasure is just out of reach, especially when relying on intercourse alone. For too long, the advice has been vague and unhelpful, leaving couples to navigate this intimate territory with little guidance. But what if we could close that gap? What if we could use data and a clear understanding of anatomy to fundamentally enhance the experience for women? The exciting news is that's exactly what's happening. Science is finally catching up, moving beyond simple advice and diving deep into the physiology of female pleasure, providing us with a clearer roadmap than ever before. For instance, a groundbreaking 2022 study took an unprecedented look at what actually happens inside the body during different sexual positions. Using sophisticated 3D models and ultrasound technology, researchers were able to measure something critically important: the blood flow to the clitoris. Why does this matter so much? It's simple. The clitoris is the epicenter of female pleasure, with thousands more nerve endings than the penis. Increased blood flow to this area is directly linked to greater arousal. More arousal means heightened sensitivity, more intense pleasure, and a significantly higher likelihood of reaching that powerful climax. So, based on this research and other scientific findings, we're about to break down the top 4 positions that have been identified as the most effective for promoting female orgasms. We're going to explore the mechanics behind why they work so well from an anatomical perspective, and make sure you stick around until the end, because I'll also be sharing a few simple but incredibly effective techniques that can supercharge your pleasure, no matter what position you're in. This isn't just about trying something new. It's about understanding the body to unlock a new level of intimacy and satisfaction. Let's start with the position that consistently comes out on top in scientific analysis, face-to-face, with the woman on top. You might know it as cowgirl or reverse cowgirl, but whatever you call it, its effectiveness isn't just anecdotal. It's rooted in pure anatomical advantage. This position is a powerhouse for a few critical reasons, all of which directly address the primary requirement for female orgasm: consistent and targeted clitoral stimulation. First and foremost, this position puts the woman in the driver's seat. She has complete control over the 3 most important variables of intercourse: the angle, the depth, and the rhythm. This isn't a minor detail, it's the entire game. Every woman's body is different, and the precise angle that provides the most pleasure can vary from person to person, and even from day to day. When she is on top, she can instinctively shift her hips, lean forward or backward, and adjust her position millisecond by millisecond to chase the sensation that feels best. She isn't passively hoping her partner finds the right spot. She is actively creating the perfect alignment for her own body. This leads us to the most crucial mechanical benefit: direct clitoral pressure. In this position, the woman can easily grind her pelvis against her partner's. This creates a wonderful friction where the base of her partner's penis and their pubic bone press directly against her clitoris. This isn't incidental contact, it's sustained, rhythmic pressure applied to the most sensitive area of her anatomy. When she controls the movement, she can vary this pressure, creating a rocking or circular motion that stimulates the entire clitoral complex, not just the external glands, but the internal legs of the clitoris as well. It's this combination of penetration and direct external stimulation that makes it so incredibly effective. And this is where the science really illuminates what's happening. The 2022 ultrasound study found that this specific position caused what researchers described as a dramatic and symmetrical increase in blood flow throughout the clitoris. Symmetrical is the key word here. It means the entire structure was becoming engorged with blood, leading to a fuller, more intense level of arousal across the board. It wasn't just a small, localized effect. It was a complete physiological response that primes the body for a powerful orgasm. To make the most of this position, here are a few practical tips. Experiment with your posture. Leaning forward will increase the pressure on the front of the clitoris, which can be incredibly intense. Sitting up straighter might change the angle of penetration and stimulate the G area more directly. Don't just think in terms of up and down. Explore a circular or figure-8 motion with your hips. This can create a more dynamic and less monotonous rhythm that builds pleasure in waves. Also, encourage your partner to be an active participant. They can thrust their hips up to meet yours, creating a powerful counter rhythm. They can also use their hands to caress your back, hold your hips to provide stability, or even add manual stimulation to your clitoris if you both enjoy it. The beauty of this position is its versatility and the way it empowers direct feedback, turning sex into a deeply connected and mutually guided experience. It's no wonder the science backs it up as the #1 position for female pleasure. Next on our list is a position that might surprise you, because it's a variation of one of the most common and classic positions of all, missionary. The missionary position is often praised for its intimacy, allowing for kissing, eye contact, and a feeling of closeness. However, from a purely mechanical standpoint, for many women, it often falls short when it comes to clitoral stimulation. The angle can be wrong, and there's often not enough direct contact to build the kind of friction needed for orgasm. But what if a simple adjustment could transform this classic into a powerhouse of pleasure? That's exactly what this next position does. The secret lies in one simple, game-changing tool: a pillow. By placing a firm pillow or a folded blanket underneath the woman's hips, you fundamentally change the entire dynamic of the position. This seemingly small change has a profound anatomical effect. It lifts the hips and, more importantly, it tilts the entire pelvis upward. This upward tilt is the key that unlocks the position's potential. Here's why it works so well. In a standard missionary position, the two bodies are often lying flat and parallel to each other. In this alignment, the partner's pubic bone may completely bypass the clitoris during thrusting. But when the woman's pelvis is tilted upward by the pillow, her clitoris is lifted and angled directly into the path of her partner's body. Now, with every single thrust, the base of his penis and his pubic bone make direct, intentional contact with her clitoris. It transforms the motion from being purely about penetration to being a dual-action movement that provides both internal sensation and powerful, consistent external rubbing. This technique essentially allows you to build a grinding motion into the missionary position. The partner on top can adjust his angle, riding high on his partner's tilted pelvis to focus the pressure exactly where she wants it. This allows for a more controlled, often shallower thrust that prioritizes that incredible friction right on the clitoris. It's no longer about deep thrusting alone, but about a rhythmic pressure that can build intensity very quickly. And once again, science validates this experience. The ultrasound study confirmed that when this pillow technique was used, there was a significant and uniform boost in clitoral blood flow. The word uniform is crucial here, as it suggests that the entire clitoral network becomes engorged, leading to a much more profound and widespread state of arousal. It's a simple biohack that turns a familiar position into something far more orgasmic. To get the most out of this, a few practical tips can help. The type of pillow matters. A firmer pillow will create a more pronounced angle, while a softer one offers a more subtle lift. You can even use a yoga block or a firm cushion. Experiment to see what feels best. For the partner on top, it's important to support your weight on your forearms or hands rather than resting fully on your partner. This gives you the control to adjust your pressure and angle. Communication here is everything. A simple "right there" or "a little higher" can guide your partner to the exact spot that feels incredible. This small modification doesn't sacrifice any of the intimacy of the missionary position. It simply adds a powerful layer of pleasure that can make all the difference. Now we move to our third position, which is less of a static position and more of a dynamic technique. It's called the Caudal Alignment Technique, or CAT, and for many couples, it has been a complete revelation. This technique requires a little more coordination and practice than the others, but the payoff can be immense. It was specifically designed by sex therapists with one goal in mind: to maximize clitoral stimulation during intercourse in the most direct way possible. Think of it as an evolution of the missionary position, engineered for pleasure. So, how does it work? The cat starts in a missionary-like position, but with a crucial adjustment in both alignment and movement. Instead of the partner on top positioning themselves between their partner's legs, they slide their body forward or up so that their pelvis is resting directly on top of their partner's pelvis. The goal is to align the base of the man's penis, his pubic bone, so that it is resting squarely against the woman's clitoris from the very beginning. This alignment is the foundation of the entire technique. From here, the movement itself changes dramatically. The cat does away with the traditional in and out thrusting motion. Instead, it employs a rhythmic, rocking or grinding motion. The couple moves their pelvises together in a fluid, unified way. As the partner on top gently presses downward, both partners rock their hips forward and back in a steady rhythm. This creates a constant, gliding pressure on the clitoris. The penis moves very little in terms of depth. The primary source of pleasure comes from this continuous, targeted friction right where it matters most. It's a subtle, intimate movement that feels less like percussive thrusting and more like a sensual dance. The genius of the cat is that it ensures the clitoris is never left behind. In many positions, the clitoris receives only intermittent or accidental stimulation. The cat, by its very design, makes that stimulation the central focus of the act. The shallow, rhythmic pressure builds arousal in a steady, powerful wave, rather than the peaks and valleys that can sometimes occur with traditional thrusting. The research on this technique is particularly compelling. Studies have shown that the cat is remarkably effective for women who have never been able to achieve orgasm through intercourse alone. After being taught the technique, a significant percentage of these women were able to reach orgasm consistently. This suggests that the technique provides the specific kind of stimulation that many women's bodies require. Mastering the cat does take some patience and, most importantly, open communication. It's not a race. Here's a simple guide to trying it. Start in the missionary position and have the partner on top slide their body upward until your pubic bones are aligned. The woman can help by wrapping her legs around her partner's torso or waist, which helps maintain this close connection. Then, forget about thrusting. Instead, start to gently rock your pelvises together. Find a rhythm that feels good for both of you. It might feel a bit awkward at first, but as you sync your movements, you'll discover a powerful and unique sensation. It's a technique that rewards teamwork and presence, and for many, it can unlock a level of pleasure they never thought possible through intercourse alone. Our fourth and final position is another one that beautifully combines deep intimacy with effective stimulation, sitting face to face. This position, where one partner sits in the other's lap while facing them, is often celebrated for the incredible sense of emotional connection it fosters. You're able to look into each other's eyes, kiss, and whisper to each other, making it one of the most romantic and connected ways to be intimate. From a physical standpoint, it shares some of the key benefits of the woman on top position. The partner who is sitting on top, typically the woman, has a great deal of control over the depth and rhythm of the movement. She can rock, rotate her hips, or control the pace to match her building arousal, which is always a significant advantage. This control and the upright posture naturally lead to a degree of clitoral stimulation as the bodies move together. The scientific findings support this, as the ultrasound study did register a notable increase in clitoral blood flow in this position, confirming that it is indeed a beneficial alignment for female pleasure. However, it's generally considered not quite as optimal as our top two contenders for one primary reason: gravity. Unlike the woman on top position, where her body weight naturally helps to create downward pressure and friction against her partner's pubic bone, the sitting position is upright. This can make it a bit more challenging to achieve that same level of intense, consistent grinding pressure on the clitoris. But this is where the position's versatility becomes its greatest strength. While it may require a little more intentional effort to create that friction, it opens the door for other forms of stimulation. Because both partners' hands are completely free, it is the perfect position to introduce manual clitoral stimulation. The partner sitting down can easily reach around and use their fingers to add direct stimulation, or the partner on top can do so herself. This combination of penetration and manual touch, a technique we'll discuss more in a moment, can be incredibly powerful. By working together, you can easily turn this intimate position into an intensely orgasmic one, customizing it to provide exactly the kind of touch and pressure that feels best. Now that we've explored the top 4 positions, let's talk about how to take things to the next level. Think of the positions as the foundation, but these techniques are the tools you can use to build something truly extraordinary on top of that foundation. These are universal principles of pleasure that you can apply to almost any position to dramatically increase sensation and magnify the potential for orgasm. First, let's revisit the concept of angling. This is the art of making small but significant adjustments to the position of the hips and pelvis. As we saw with the missionary variation, adding a pillow can completely transform the experience. But you can apply this principle anywhere. In a woman on top position, she can experiment with the tilt of her pelvis. In a side-lying position, a slight shift in hip angle can make all the difference. The goal is always to find that perfect alignment where the clitoris is receiving the most direct and pleasurable contact. It's about being mindful and making those micro adjustments in the moment. Next is rocking. We discussed this in the context of the caudal alignment technique, but this rhythmic, grinding motion is not exclusive to that position. Instead of relying solely on traditional in and out thrusting, which can sometimes bypass the clitoris, introduce a rocking motion. This creates a wonderful, continuous friction that can be far more effective at building arousal. Whether you're in missionary, on top, or spooning, you can incorporate a gentle, back and forth or circular pelvic rock that keeps the pubic bones in close, sensual contact. The third technique is shallowing. There's often a misconception that deeper is always better, but for female pleasure, this is frequently not the case. The first third of the vaginal canal, especially around the entrance, is the most densely packed with nerve endings. Shallowing is the practice of focusing the movement and stimulation in this highly sensitive area. Instead of deep thrusts, the partner can use just the tip of the penis to create friction and pressure right at the entrance, which also indirectly stimulates the internal structure of the clitoris. This can create a unique, intense, and teasing sensation that can be incredibly arousing. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, is the technique of pairing. This is the simple but profound act of combining intercourse with direct, manual clitoral stimulation. Research has consistently shown that the vast majority of women require direct clitoral stimulation to orgasm. Waiting for it to happen through intercourse alone can be a recipe for frustration. Pairing solves this. Whether it's with fingers or a vibrator, adding this direct touch during intercourse can be the key that unlocks the most powerful orgasms. In fact, studies show that up to 70% of women find that pairing makes the experience more pleasurable and significantly increases their chances of climaxing. It's about understanding that intercourse and clitoral stimulation don't have to be separate events. They can be a beautiful, synergistic combination. Now, all these positions and techniques we've discussed are about enhancing connection and mutual pleasure. And for the men watching, ensuring you can be fully present and confident is a huge part of that shared experience. If you've ever felt that worries about stamina or hardness are holding you back from giving your partner the mind-blowing pleasure she deserves, then I have something truly transformative I want to share with you. It's a powerful, 100% natural 7-second home remedy that helps restore the unstoppable stamina and rock-solid confidence you had in your prime. It works by addressing the real scientific root cause of performance issues, allowing you to be ready on command, every time. I've put a QR code on the screen right now. Just open your phone's camera and point it here to watch a short, eye-opening video that explains exactly how it works. I've also pinned the direct link right at the top of the comments for you. This is for the men who are ready to take their performance to the next level. Alright, with that said, let's get into our final thoughts and wrap this up. So there you have it, the 4 positions that science suggests are most effective for female orgasm, and the powerful techniques you can use to enhance any intimate experience. We've covered the woman on top for ultimate control, the pillow-enhanced missionary for targeted stimulation, the advanced caudal alignment technique for continuous contact, and the intimate sitting face-to-face position. Ultimately, the most important takeaway from all of this is that great sex is a journey of discovery. While science can give us an incredible roadmap, The real magic happens when you combine that knowledge with open communication, curiosity, and a genuine desire to explore pleasure together. Every body is unique, and what works wonders for one person might be different for another. The key is to listen to your own body, communicate openly with your partner, and never be afraid to experiment. Don't look at this as a set of rules you have to follow, but rather as a new set of tools for your toolkit. Have fun with it. Be present in the moment, focus on the sensations, and enjoy the process of discovering what brings you and your partner the most pleasure. Prioritizing mutual satisfaction and embracing this journey of exploration is the true secret to a more fulfilling and connected sex life. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more content dedicated to health and well-being. And feel free to share your own respectful thoughts or questions in the comments below.